we thought, let's give you a glimpse of it and help you plan the next one at least. Let's get started without any further ado. Dump the hotel, embrace the unique, extended stays, slow down, stay longer. What is glamping? What are micro hotels? What are these boutique bliss on a smaller scale that people are looking for? For 2025, how will the stay, the accommodation look like? What are people asking for? And what should you keep on your bucket list? That's coming up on the program.
And after that, we bring you such an interesting interview on what goes into dialogue, the craft of dialogue. Who you can see on your screens right now is Divya Nidhi Sharma. He's the master of words behind Heera Mandi, Lapata Ladies and many other classics. And he sits down with us to tell us a little bit more about what goes into writing the iconic line.
We also bring you a check on the pollution meter. AQI levels today in Delhi NCR around 250, which indicates poor. It's relatively better, but it hasn't rained so far. Will the wind blow away the pollution as well? We wait to watch that.
And after that, we take you on the road. We're going to be looking at the Ather 450X with the first ride review of 2025. This particular vehicle, as you can see, it's on the road, it's gorgeous, but does it pack the punch? Overdrive brings you the review.
Also coming up on the program, all the Golden Globe highlights for 2025. All we imagine is light. India's big pitch did not win, but who did? We'll bring you all of those, including that extraordinary speech by Demi Moore in her emotional speech, which took all over the internet. She says this is the first award she has won for the first time in 45 years of her career. All feminists across the globe are hailing it. We'll tell you why exactly. All right, let's start with travel on our mind. And if you've got to plan the next one straight away to ensure that you keep sane at work, then this episode is for you. Now, travel in 2025 is all about unique indulgences and of offbeat experiences, locations. And we covered the top 9 trends for you yesterday. But what about stay? Now, forget cookie cutter vacations, a basic sort of accommodation. Travel in 2025 is all about personalized experiences, and that extends to where we stay as well. Now, according to a travel industry report, over 60% of travelers prioritize unique, memorable accommodations and experiences. This year, we are seeing a surge in demand for everything from extended stays, that means not short vacations but longer stays, and hyper-personalized services to off-grid escapes and even glamping.
Glamour plus camping. Now, whether you're seeking adventure, relaxation, or maybe even just a unique travel experience, these are the 7 trends we're seeing in accommodation that are shaping the future of where we rest our heads. All right, number 1, we're seeing more extended stays. Travelers are embracing the idea of slow travel. They're seeking longer duration stays. There are budget-friendly options that are available for extending stays that are gaining popularity, because obviously that's your biggest concern. How can you afford a longer stay? And this trend actually reflects a desire within people, possibly for a deeper immersion in the destinations that they're choosing to stay in. Now, the second trend that we saw, hyper-personalization. Hotels are anticipating what are the guests going to need, and they're actually offering tailor-made experiences. And that's where you also have AI playing a very big role. It's powering recommendations and it's helping personalize amenities that are becoming more and more the norm. The focus is on basically creating a unique, a memorable stay for each and every guest that comes and stays at a location.
So some might want to stay in, some might want to go on a hike, third might want to sit down in a quiet place and write. Whatever whatever you want, the places and accommodations are trying to go over and above to make it happen for you. That's what the trend is all about. Which brings us to trend number 3, which is the glamping, which is even more evolved. Now, glamping is what we had in 2024. What about 25? The luxury glamping pods are now equipped with cutting-edge tech. Features like smart home integration, panoramic views, private hot tubs are becoming the standard now, and glamping is evolving into a truly luxurious and immersive experience. That means you're out in the wild somewhere, but with all your comforts. Trend number 4, talking about comforts, there is boutique bliss. Micro hotels offer intimate stays with personalized services and unique design. Now, these smaller properties provide a more exclusive, memorable experience. The focus is on creating a unique ambience and fostering a sense of community as well. That means you want a hidden gem, but you want the boutique experience in it to be well and truly intact.
And speaking of that, the hidden gem context here, people more and more want off-the-grid escapes. So we know that you have an increase in eco-conscious travelers. They're seeking solace more and more in solar-powered cabins and eco-lodges. These are essentially properties that offer a unique opportunity to disconnect from the grid. Cell connection nahi hai, and you reconnect instead with nature. Off-grid stays promote sustainability. There's a deeper sense of appreciation for the environment. And what we're also seeing, and this perhaps comes hand in glove with that other trend we talked about, is a trend increasingly of a focus on health and wellness with wellness retreats.
Big trend in 25,
right?
Yeah.
And we're seeing this take place in states like Goa, Kerala, a focus on well-being with on-site spas, fitness centers, healthy dining options. You have properties that are offering wellness programs that will help guests relax, rejuvenate, improve their overall health, and wellness travel in itself. So traveling for multi-day retreats where you're going to have massages, meditation, yoga, that's increasingly becoming popular. Accommodations are adapting to meet this same demand everywhere.
Yeah, doesn't that sound lovely though? And which brings us to our last trend, which is trend number 7, sustainability focus. Eco-friendly practices like solar panel and water conservation are becoming increasingly important, meaning people want to filter locations and accommodations who provide that. Many properties are now implementing green initiatives to reduce their environmental impact. They're charging a premium on it, and people are saying, yes, we will pay to ensure that the planet stays safe, even while we indulge in our experiences. So those were the top 7 trends really that we're looking at for accommodation, only for stay. So we thought we'll talk to some people about it a little bit more. Joining us now is Brinda Sharma. She's a travel influencer. And as we speak, I am told she is already on one of her travels in Manali. And I was told there is a little bit of a network issue there. Let's hope that doesn't happen. If not, then you can watch out for reviews, because that's a clear no-no for 2025, as we've seen in one of the trends. Also with us now is Caroline. She is the CEO of Blue Kite. Now, the Blue Kite is a hospitality arm of VNR, a luxury home developing company. And I would love to understand from her what kind of experiences, tailor-made experiences, are people actually asking for. So first question, and maybe Brinda and Caroline can take both of them together, as in one after the other. Brinda, with you, we just stated the top 7, which according to you speaks the most to people in India at the moment.
I think the tailor-made experiences, that's what I've been seeing. So I'm staying at a friend's property right now. It's a boutique stay. So the most requested things that I've seen are tailor-made experiences, or, exploring hikes that not everyone goes to, or places that I personally go to just, to unwind, and stuff that I don't show on social media. I think that's where people are headed at the moment.
Okay, Caroline, one trend that speaks to you the most?
I would actually say the same. What we see here in Goa is that people come and they want to experience the intimacy of a villa because they're celebrating a milestone birthday or a bachelorette party, or, people are getting married and they want the parents to meet, some person is, wanting to surprise his fiance with a proposal. And so those are all experiences which we want to facilitate so that the experience is really memorable for them.
Oh, how lovely. Okay, so we'll talk a little bit more about Blue Kite's expansion in just a second. But I want to go back to you, Brinda, to understand, because you are someone who influences and you are a travel influencer in particular, which means that in real time you're getting feedback from people who are taking your tips, taking your advice, using it in their own lives. I just want to ask you, what do you think young India wants? We've talked about the trends and the changes we're seeing, but what's the largest concern within even wanting customized stays? What are people asking for? What are the locations they're gravitating towards? Which are the videos of your own that you see get the most clicks?
So there's like a big difference here. So the places that I get a lot of views at are a little different. So there was this recently, I went to this place in Nepal. It's this beautiful village on the way to Annapurna Base Camp. It's called Gandruk. It is so, I mean, I can't even describe it. It is so beautiful. So I think people are looking for places that have not been explored yet. I don't know why that is. Maybe it's because they want to be the first on social media. Because I see a lot of people getting into the social media game now, and places that have already been covered don't get that much traction. Either it's that, or it's about like truly unwinding, because you see those, the same places so much on your phone and on on the TV or in movies. So maybe I've been seeing a lot of offbeat places that people want to visit and go and see.
Actually, offbeat, unique, never seen before are trends that are carrying forward from 24 to 25.
Yeah.
But let's sort of dial back on accommodation per se. And Caroline, if you can sort of, tell us a little bit more about, this hyper personalization that you already spoke about. But what really interested me was longer stays. So it is, people are coming in and booking locations to say that I'm not coming in for just a weekend getaway. It could be weekend getaway plus a week of work that I will be doing from here. So requirements can vary, and people have to really think about accommodations, hotels, Airbnbs, etc., to really think about what they're providing.
So what we've seen, during COVID is that companies got used to having people working remotely. And what we see right now is that that trend sort of continues despite COVID being over. And you have people who are, entrepreneurs working for big companies in tech, or in finance or in creative fields, who want to take a place for 2 weeks to 2 months and really experience what it is, to live in Goa and, go and see the sunset or go surfing on the weekend. You also have people who want to escape the cold and the pollution of Delhi. And all they need really is a reliable source of internet, a room to isolate themselves in case they're coming with the family. And obviously, most operators like us offer hefty discounts if you're staying a week or a month and more, because usually, we get weekend occupancy, but it's really hard to get those weekdays. And so if the guest is willing to stay longer, we obviously reward them for it.
Nice.
Okay. And Brinda, if we can ask you, if we just look at younger India, we know that everything from hostels to these, tailor-made experiences where you're staying at someone's house, they're making the lunch and the breakfast for you. This is what we're really seeing expansion in. And I want to ask you, Brinda, tell us a little bit about your own experiences here. So, for example, a lovely, lovely place you've stayed at, what that's looked like. And therein I want to ask you, what's your advice to people? Because getting and finding unique spaces in itself can be quite dicey, especially if you don't have the Airbnb reviews to back it up.
So I think for the second question, since that's what I remember the most, I think following influencers that you feel are reliable, because I have promoted so many homestays. So the places you spoke about are homestays. Firstly, I think even on apps like Make My Trip and so many other apps, there's options for booking homestays. So even these smaller places that run homestays, or like maybe 2 or 3 bedroom rentals, usually are on apps or something. Or whenever you are traveling to a place and there's no network or something, or if there's this one place in Ladakh close to this lake called Somoridi, that village is called Korzok. So I visited that during the winters when it's like minus 32, minus 35 degrees, and it's crazy. So usually I just go there and I figure out my accommodation. That's also one way to do it. Because now most places in the mountains are firstly obviously very safe, and secondly I think that's also a good way to keep your trip very impromptu. That's one. And secondly, homestays are my personal favorite because, they give you like a little peek into the culture of the village you're staying at. And they're most popular in very like higher villages, in the mountains for us. So, for example, in Spiti Valley, there's this one homestay I stay at. They usually have like a common area where they have a tandoor in the center, so that keeps the whole room warm because it's so cold during the
Bukhari,
winters.
yeah.
Bukhari, exactly.
Yeah.
And then there's, this sitting on the ground all by the wall, like where I'm sitting. And everyone, no matter what room you're staying at, there's no privacy there. So you come out, you eat your meals, you interact with the people, you interact with the locals. I think it's such a sweet experience that you don't really get to do when you're traveling firstly in bigger cities and also when you're staying at hotels. So I think that's why people prefer homestays. Even this village I'm talking about in Spiti has hotels now, even during the winters that are running, but I still prefer going and staying at homestays because I don't know, it makes you feel a little humble, I think.
Yeah, it really helps you immerse in the experience. I think that's
Yeah,
what I really got a glimpse of from there. But Caroline, I think one trend that I'm seeing really emerge is that earlier it used to be an itinerary that will dominate the program, but your entire holiday or your stay. But now a lot of onus is put on where I'm staying. I need this for my baby, I need this for my parents, I need this for myself. My husband is on this diet, I am on this diet, I am doing like, are you seeing a lot of pressure now emerge on stays to provide and cater to all different kinds of people, even in the same family?
Yes, for sure. 100%. And a lot of times people want to have cooks or chefs coming into their home to cater to whatever need they have. And I think this is great. People should holiday and make the most of that time they have off and not, be constrained to what's available on the buffet or, being sitting with people they don't know. So I think it's a great thing that people are asking and we're here to provide. So.
Okay.
Can I just stay with you, Carolyn, for a second to understand, and we'll just tell our audiences here, part of what Blue Kite does is it works with, and correct me if I'm wrong here, Carolyn, but it seems like it works with people on the ground. So if you own a house, if you own a set of houses, you can contact Blue Kite, say that, we want to host people, and Blue Kite will even work as a provider in that sense. And I want to understand with you, Carolyn, what is it like? What is the Indian market like? In the last 10 years, are you seeing people more and more willing, especially as you're expanding to new areas? I know you've just expanded into Nainital, Shimla you were already located, Delhi you were already located. Are you seeing a willingness and what are people's hesitations as they say, okay, I'm opening up my house?
So I think people realized during COVID that there was untapped opportunity if they own a home to generate an income from it. I think at first there was this reluctance, what if people touched my things, what if the place isn't maintained the right way? But quickly people have realized that, if you own a home, maintaining it is a full-time job. And so this is what we do for them. And actually, when you want to take a holiday in that home, the last thing you want is to be fixing the pool or, training the staff for those 10 days that you're there in a year. And so this is what we do for them. So that's from the homeowner side. And I think all the tech behind what we do enables a lot of transparency. They know exactly how many people are staying, on which days. They know that the booking is coming through API. They have visibility over the calendar. They can block when they're coming. There's visibility over the bills. And so I think this sense of transparency has also helped people open up their home. And from the guest perspective, I think, during COVID, people didn't want to share space in big hotels. And so they tried those homestays and rented accommodation for a while. And I think they took up to it. They really enjoyed it. They really enjoyed waking up with their friends, having breakfast around the dining table, staying in pajama until whatever time they wanted, going to the beach only when they felt like it. And so this habit is very much there now and it's here to stay.
Interesting. Vrinda, since we are all four women talking about this, I have to ask, for all our viewers watching right now, and there is so much of solo travel that popped up as a trend as well this year, a lot of getting to make friends on holiday, not going on a holiday with friends. There's a huge difference doing all of that. Are there some basic checklists that you have in mind on how to scan through a good accommodation? Because now there are just so many options and you don't know how it will actually turn out.
I think for me at least, there's no real checklist because mostly whenever I travel to places, especially in the mountains, I feel safe and I know, you can make out a lot from the pictures. At least maybe because I've had the experience for now. But for apps like Airbnb, you can always see the reviews, and I usually don't go for places that don't have a lot of reviews if I'm traveling abroad. So I see basic things like if the person who's hosting is a super host, or if how many reviews are there, how many stars are there, just basic stuff like that. And I think in India, uh, I don't really have a checklist. And usually, if I have bad feelings about a stay, I just choose the next one. I don't think, since there are so many, and there's always one available if you don't like the one that you're staying at. I think there's stuff that you don't really have to put so much pressure on yourself about.
Yeah, that's actually quite nice, no?
Yeah,
to know
yeah,
that, to know that
I-
change actually, yeah.
I also love that we can I think that's the sound of people, because you said you're living in a communal space, and I think we can actually hear the people you're living with right now, which is so
Also,
lovely.
the sound of the wind because it's been so windy in the morning.
Okay, great. Caroline, Brinda, thank you both for joining us and sharing all those insights. And we hope to our viewers, we've been able to help you with how to get to the right accommodation and also what are just the plethora of options really out there.
Right. Staying at people's homes, as we discussed right now, can be such a lovely, lovely experience.
Like
and
the
it's-
holiday.
Yeah, and it's so lovely to know that more Indians are opening their homes. We were talking a little bit and I was thinking that, India has always been Atiti Devo Bhava, and quite
Yeah,
literally now we're
yeah.
opening up our homes for other Indians. All right, we're going to head into a quick break. On the other side, we bring you something entirely different. So we're shifting focus. We're taking you to the craft of dialogue. Meet Divya, Nidhi, Sharma, the master of words behind Hira Mandi, Anupma and Amir Khan's Sitare Zameen Par. This is going to be the new Tare Zameen Par coming out in a little while. How will it be different? We'll talk a little bit about that. He tells us about the magic behind creating the perfect iconic dialogue.
Can the BJP end its 27-year-long power drought in Delhi? Well, the party is employing a multi-pronged strategy to live up to this challenge as it senses anti-incumbency against the Aam Aadmi Party's decade-long rule and feels that the narrative of AAP's corruption and misgovernance has percolated to the masses. It is also a very localized campaign by the BJP this time, with the Prime Minister speaking about sewers and waterlogged roads and DTC fleets and potholes. This is a marked shift from the national issues campaign run by BJP in the past in Delhi. The effort is to touch the pulse of the common Delhiite on the issues he's facing day in and day out. The BJP strategy, in fact, seems to be on 5 political pillars, glimpses of which have been evident in the 2 public addresses of the Prime Minister in Delhi last week. Number 1, Modi is again the BJP's face in Delhi and the party is not projecting any chief ministerial face. Number 2, it is the Prime Minister and Amit Shah who are leading the attack on AAP on the Sheesh Mahal campaign around the Chief Minister's affluent residence. The BJP feels this is AAP's Achilles heel. Number 3, the BJP is highlighting AAP's misgovernance from the state of the Yamuna to air pollution to try keep the campaign local. It says Delhi needs a double-engine government run by the BJP. Number 4, the BJP is planning a strong counter to Aam Aadmi Party's 2 major weapons. Number 1, free electricity and the rupees 2100 promised to women. BJP has also made a major overture to slum dwellers who are a major vote bank in Delhi, with Prime Minister Modi saying that everyone will get a pakka home. Fifth, the BJP is hoping that the Congress and the BSP can also dent AAP's votes in multiple seats and BJP ends up gaining from it. Modi is the face. Leading the charge against the AAP is again the BJP's top face, Prime Minister Narendra Modi. This was the same case in 2020 when the BJP had lost. BJP did project Kiran Bedi as their chief ministerial face in 2015, but that ended in a disaster as AAP won as many as 67 out of the 70 seats in Delhi. Arvind Kejriwal and his party are taking potshots at the BJP, asking who their dulha or the bridegroom is in these elections. But the BJP feels there are bigger issues in this Delhi election than the CM face. It is buoyed by the wins in Rajasthan, Chhattisgarh and Madhya Pradesh in 2023 without projecting any CM face. The two posters released by the BJP so far only have Modi as the face on them. The BJP in fact feels that AAP has complicated its own strategy by saying that Kejriwal will replace Atishi as the CM if AAP wins, despite the Supreme Court putting stiff conditions on Kejriwal while granting him bail. Number 2, big strategy of the BJP is Sheesh Mahal AAP's Achilles heel. Well, unlike 2020, when BJP did not have as much ammunition on the front of corruption of AAP, this election is different, as the Sheesh Mahal controversy around the CM's affluent residence could prove to be its Achilles heel. This explains PM Modi and Home Minister Amit Shah leading the attack on this issue. To quote Prime Minister Modi, "I never built a house for myself. I could have also built a Sheesh Mahal, but my dream has been that the poor get a concrete house." A latest CAG report, which has not been tabled in the Delhi Assembly so far, has also posed serious questions on the lavish expenditure done in refurbishing and renovating the CM's residence in Delhi. The Prime Minister
Welcome back. It's time to take a look at the pollution meter, and there is no good news, relatively better news as pollution levels have dipped to the poor category. We were waiting for rain, which hasn't happened, but wind speed picked up. Has that impacted numbers at all? Let's take a look at that with Toya.
All right, let's take a look at the numbers right here. If you are anywhere in the Delhi NCR region, you woke up to thick fog, a dense blanket of fog, and we're seeing the AQI is back right now in the very poor. And as we speak, about 25 trains are running delayed because of this dense fog. As we speak, we also want to very quickly tell you that Mumbai is also seeing high pollution right now. The air quality there also has plummeted. Right now, though, we're checking in on the NCR region, as you can see on your screens. Take a look right now at the numbers you've got coming in. On the plus side, not a single region in the hazardous area. This is a change we've seen take place over the last few days. As you know already, yesterday, GRAP 3 was lifted, and you can see that reflected even today in the numbers we're seeing on the screen. The highest number you've got coming in, as you can tell, is over here. So you've got about 200 coming in still in Delhi, in ITI Shahadra. But it is, if you just take a look at it, the highest number. You also have a 241 coming in there around Okla. So not the greatest, but as you can tell, 241, 200, these are actually the highest numbers we're seeing on this chart. And if you're lucky enough to live in Gurgaon, you actually have incredible AQI coming in there. 77 in Vikas Sadan in Gurgaon. Let's just very quickly, before we let you go, check in on Noida, where you've got 152. It's unhealthy. But again, this area, we checked last week, had some of the higher IQI levels. So if you just take a look, Noida, Gurgaon, not looking at the worst picture. And if we just shift back to Delhi for a second, I just want to bring you that. JNU, Jawaharlal Nehru, the stadium, so not JNU, you've got 173, you've got 171 coming in here, and this is around, just highlight for you, this is around Delhi's green pockets. So around this area, RK Puram 190, the AQI around the same as it is in the rest of Delhi. So Delhi in the very unhealthy and the unhealthy regions. Gurgaon showing a very, very good picture. If you're in Gurgaon, feel free to go out and walk as we speak. But that's the picture in the NCR region at this moment. Dense fog will continue through the day.
All right, so that was a pollution meter. It's time to now take you through stories from India and across the globe. And let's start with the virus news and the updates there. 5 cases of the HMPV infection have been detected in Karnataka, Tamil Nadu, West Bengal and in Gujarat. The state and central governments have assured citizens that there is no cause of alarm as authorities closely monitor the situation. The pictures on your screen, however, are coming in from China.
And you may have felt it in the morning as we learnt that an earthquake on the Richter scale 7.1 hit Tibet near the Nepal border today, just a few minutes ago. Tremors were felt in several parts of India, including Bihar, Delhi, NCR, West Bengal. Those visuals of a fan moving because of the tremors. According to the National Center of Seismology, the quake hit Tibet Xizang at 6:35 a.m. at the depth of 10 kilometers.
On to the biggest international headline. I am a fighter. That's what Justin Trudeau said when he was resigning as the Canadian Prime Minister and the Liberal Party chief. This was ahead of an election year where rivals Conservatives are polling ahead of their main rivals. The 53-year-old leader said Parliament has been paralysed for months after what has been the longest session of a minority parliament in Canadian history.
And from Trudeau, let's take you to teddy bears. This is the news, the visuals coming in right now to you from a US minor league hockey match. The Hershey Bears teddy bear toss. It saw a record 102,000 toys, all for donation. And this year, the honor fell to the forward Mike Scarbossa, who scored in the opening period to tie the game against the Providence Bruins. The players, as you can see on your screens, were dodging not balls, not hockey sticks, but a flurry of soft animals with a record-breaking 102,000 teddy bears, as we told you, and stuffed animals collected during this event.
The greatest file of the Black and White Carnival took place in Pasto, Narino, showcasing vibrant floats and costumes on Monday. The event held annually, highlighting the creativity of participating artists as they spend months meticulously designing the impressive floats and costumes, which were the centerpiece of the renowned Colombian Carnival.
All right, now we'll take you from raps to our person of interest. This morning, we're joined by someone who turns words into magic. The dialogue writer of Kiran Rao's Lapata Ladies, penning iconic shows like Anupama and OTT giants like Hira Mandi. Divya Nidhi Sharma is at the forefront of storytelling in Indian cinema and in television today.
But his creativity isn't confined to screen. Now, Divya is also a poet at heart and a fitness enthusiast and someone who believes in the art of clean, impactful writing. So we thought we got to sit down with him and uncover the mind behind those magical words and find out how exactly does he bring all these characters to life with his mind-blowing writing. Hi, good morning. Thank you so much for joining us here on the Breakfast Club, Divya Nidhi. And you know, the first question really that comes to mind when one looks at you is that how, let's take it from the top, how did writing actually come to you? How did you discover you wanted to indulge in it in the first place?
See, writing has always been, I was always enamored by the medium of cinema. And I always wanted to be a screenwriter. I'm one of those very few जो Mumbai train से उतरते हैं और script writer बनना चाहते हैं. So so I always wanted to be a screenwriter. I grew up in a lot of North Indian villages and small towns, and we used to have those film mags, old film magazines with Salim Javed's interviews and all. So I always used to dream that one day.
Speaking of Salim Javed over there, tell us, we all recently saw a documentary on both of them, how iconic their writing was. But it feels like that was the only era when a movie could sell just on the name of the writers. You knew they'd written it, you'd bought a ticket. Why do you think we haven't seen that since?
Again, the buck stops at us. The ball is in the writer's court. Industry अच्छे बुरे का फर्क नहीं पहचानती. वो सिर्फ कामयाब और नाकाम का फर्क पहचानते हैं. So if any writer delivers hit after hit, they will go after him, her. You might write the best script, it might be a best niche film, niche OTT, software, whatever it is. लेकिन उनको कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता जब तक वो बॉक्स ऑफिस पे पैसा कमा के ना दे. It's like the same is true with everyone. कितने सारे एक्टर्स हैं जो बहुत अच्छा काम करते हैं लेकिन बॉक्स ऑफिस ड्रॉ नहीं है, तो इंडस्ट्री उनके आगे पीछे वैसे नहीं भागते हैं लोग. तो द सेम केसेस विद द राइटर्स. बहुत अच्छे राइटर्स हैं लेकिन बहुत कामयाब राइटर्स नहीं हैं आज की तारीख में. जैसे ही होंगे पीपल विल रन आफ्टर देम. उनका अच्छा बुरा होना सेकेंडरी है, सब्जेक्टिव है. हार्ड कोल्ड नंबर्स जिनके साथ आप आर्ग्यू नहीं कर पाए, उनके साथ इंडस्ट्री आर्ग्यू नहीं करती. दे ओनली अंडरस्टैंड सक्सेस. So we have to dish out successful work.
Yeah. अच्छे writers हैं, successful writers नहीं हैं. That definition is very clear in your head. But talking about writers, the past couple of years we've seen a flurry of some great writers come in. They all come from small towns, and the beauty is that they're writing about those small towns as well. Is that a trend that is here to stay? Perhaps to tell stories of middle India or say tier 3 India, tier 4 India?
See, writing essentially when the industry started out, films were meant for mass consumption. तो ज़्यादातर फिल्में गांव वालों के लिए बनती थी. आप अगर कोई भी पुरानी फिल्में देखें तो उनमें हीरो गांव वाला होता था. उसके बाद थोड़ा सा मिडिल क्लास, लोअर मिडिल क्लास का आदमी, एक मजदूर, एक कुली, ऐसा होने लगा. बीच का एक 25 साल का पीरियड ऐसा था 2000 के बाद से, जिसमें से हीरो हमारे एनआरआईज होने लगे. कहानियां चाहे जरूरी हो ना हो, इवन देन दे वर बेस्ड इन लंदन जस्ट फॉर द हेक ऑफ इट. ऐसी बहुत सारी फिल्में बनने लगी. तो स्मॉल टाउन को की ऑडियंस धीरे 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 करके सिनेमा से दूर चली गई, बिकॉज वी डिडंट शो इंटरेस्ट इन देम. एंड उसके बदले में उन्होंने भी हमें दिलचस्पी दिखानी बंद कर दी. नाउ यू आर वेकिंग अप अगेन टू द फैक्ट कि अरे इतना बड़ा मार्केट हमने छोड़ रखा है, इससे कोई बात नहीं कर रहा है. लेट्स इंडल्ज देम इन अ कन्वर्सेशन ऑल ओवर अगेन. लेकिन वो क्या है, बात का तार टूट चुका है 25 साल पहले. तो आपको दोबारा जोड़ने में धीरे धीरे कोशिश चल रही है, लेकिन वक्त लग रहा है. तो ओटीटी स्पेसिफिकली बहुत सारा कंटेंट बना रहा है स्मॉल टाउन के लिए. लेकिन फिल्म्स अभी भी सैडली ऐसी बहुत कम आ रही हैं जो विच एक पहले यूनिवर्सल हिट का कॉन्सेप्ट होता था, which unfortunately has ceased to exist. अभी फिल्म्स पैचेस में हिट होती हैं. ये अर्बन हिट है, ये ओटीटी में हिट है, ये मेट्रो की कामयाबी, ये सिंगल स्क्रीन की फिल्म है. तो ऐसी फिल्म जो हर जगह देखी जाए अक्रॉस द कंट्री बड़ी सीमित हो गई है, क्योंकि शायद आज से पहले हिंदुस्तान कभी इतना फ्रेगमेंटेड नहीं था जितना आज है. तो कलेक्टिव एस्पिरेशन, कलेक्टिव सपना बड़ा मुश्किल से कोई एक मिल पाता है. तो उसी की कोशिश कर रहे हैं हम सब.
That's actually so beautiful.
Yeah.
Right? Can you tell us, Divya, one of your most, I think, hard-hitting, one of the films that really tugged at our own hearts a few years ago, of course, was Tare Zameen Par, the lessons it taught. And you're working on Sitare Zameen Par. Just tell us a little bit about what we can expect.
देखिए, सितारे ज़मीन पे क्योंकि अभी तक पहला प्रोमो भी नहीं आया, कोई पब्लिसिटी शुरू नहीं हुई है, तो आई एम नॉट श्योर इफ आई एम सपोज्ड टू टॉक अबाउट द फिल्म और नॉट राइट नाउ. आमिर सर ने जो इंटरव्यूज में बोला है वही दोहरा सकता हूँ मैं कि इट्स अ स्पिरिचुअल सीक्वल टू तारे ज़मीं पे, एंड वी रियली होप कि ये फिल्म उतनी ही पसंद की जाए. और आमिर सर ने भी बताया कि तारे ज़मीं पे ने जितना रुलाया था, सितारे ज़मीं पे उतना हंसाएगी. ऐसी हम सबको उम्मीद है. There is a very interesting film called नखरे वाली. ये आनंद राय सर ने प्रोड्यूस की है. ये भी अभी तो फरवरी में मेरा ख्याल इसकी रिलीज डेट थी, शायद आगे पीछे थोड़ी सी शिफ्ट हो. तो वो बड़ा एक इंटरेस्टिंग कॉन्सेप्ट, बड़ी इंटरेस्टिंग फिल्म है. आई एम वेरी होपफुल अबाउट दैट आल्सो.
Okay, so that's the second project that's coming up in 2025. But let's talk about the one that really stole our hearts in 24, Divya. It was Heera Mandi. It must have been such a great writing experience, but explain to us and our viewers the process when you write for such a strong female protagonist, which is also set up in a different era altogether. How does a writer of today's day and age and a male step into the shoes of a Tawaif and write those lines?
देखिए, we just had to toe the line. We just had to follow the master himself. When SLB is making something, it's his vision, and we just all had to realign our thought processes to follow in that vision. तो उस शो का किसी भी चीज का क्रेडिट, मतलब अगर मैं अच्छा लिखा तो उनकी वजह से, जैसा उन्होंने कराया, जैसा वो बताते
Sanjay
गए,
Leela Bhansali, I mean,
it's just a dream come true to work with the men. और जहां तक women POV ढूंढने की बात है as a writer, तो because I have been writing for Indian television for quite some time. In Indian television, as you know, we only have female protagonists. हमारे यहाँ कोई भी शो ऐसा बनता ही नहीं जो एक महिला के पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू से ना हो.
Tell us, Nidhi, a line like "मेरे पास माँ है माँ," that stays with you. Where are today's big lines? Why aren't we seeing, the industry come up with lines like that? Or is that not a fair question to ask?
Again, नहीं, I would like to differ. बहुत सारे लाइनें आती रहती हैं, जैसे बाजीराव में कितनी सारी लाइनें थी ऐसे. प्रकाश कपाड़िया सर ने लिखी थी. अगेन संजय सर की फिल्म थी. चीते की नजर, बाज की चाल और बाजीराव की तलवार पर संदेह नहीं करते. तो इट वाज क्वाइट पॉपुलर. उनकी संजय सर की फिल्मों में स्पेशली अभी भी he pays a lot of attention to the written word. But I guess because the general way of filmmaking, अब कितनी थोड़ी true to life जो फिल्में बन रही हैं, उनमें quotable quote का आ पाना थोड़ा सा मुश्किल लगता है. क्योंकि ग्रामर सिनेमा का बदल जाता है. The last film I can recall is वसेपुर, जिसमें बहुत सारे quotable quotes थे. तुमसे ना हो पाएगा बेटा जेपी से लेकर और God knows कहाँ पे. मुझे लापता में लगता है, लापता में जब वो कहता है फुल इंग्लिश बोल के बताएं.
Yeah, that is a moment.
तो I have seen so many memes based on that one. तो मुझे लगता है कि हाँ, वो लोगों ने शायद वैसे पसंद किया जैसे पहले के quotable quotes को पसंद करते थे.
So memes are now the new threshold of knowing how good or bad the dialogue really is, which is quite nice. Divya, since we have you, and we have some of the best dialogue writing of our times as well, I do want to ask you about your two favorite dialogues. One, if you can tell us that you've written, and one of some other writer.
देखिए, मुझे किसी और की लिखी हुई तो सोचने की, सलीम जावेद ने इतनी फिल्मों में जिस तरह से कैरेक्टर को एस्टैब्लिश कर देते थे एक लाइन बोलते ही. आई रिमेम्बर काला पत्थर में एक सीक्वेंस है, नए मजदूर आ रहे हैं और मुनीम सबके नाम पूछ के लिखता है. दैट्स शत्रुजी's इंट्रो सीक्वेंस. शत्रुजी चलते हुए आते हैं, मुनीम पूछता है नाम क्या है, वो पूछते हैं आज दिन क्या है, इट इज मंगल, लिख ले. द वे ही एस्टैब्लिशेस कि कैरेक्टर ये है भैया, आज दिन क्या है, मंगल, लिख ले. I just loved it. It's just one of those examples जो एकदम से याद आ गया. वरना उनकी तो हजारों बातें ऐसी हैं. One of your own, it has to be from हीरा मंडी. हीरा मंडी में बहुत सारे डायलॉग्स ऐसे थे जो मेरे फेवरेट थे. मैं बताता हूँ. हीरा मंडी में एक दर और दीवार वाला डायलॉग था, मुझे बड़ा अच्छा लगता है वो. दहलीज कहती है, तुमने यहाँ की दहलीज पार कर दी, दीवार पार नहीं कर पाओ. She and Sonakshi Sinha's character says, पुरानी दीवारें पार नहीं की जाती,
तोड़ दी जाती हैं, गिरा दी जाती हैं.
Right? It was, throwback to the old school dialogue बाजी, good old dialogue बाजी. मैं ये कहूँगा, तुम वो कहोगे, मजा आएगा.
इसमें dialogue delivery दोनों का खेल है. And lastly, Divya, if we could just have you leave our audiences with some poetry. It's early in the morning. A lot of our audiences are probably sipping their cup of coffee or tea as they leave. And we just want to ask you a nice poetry that will stay with them through the day.
Exactly उसी context के ऊपर. It's a poetry about a character from the film शोले. शोले film मैंने भी देखी है, आपने भी, I'm assuming देखी होगी ज्यादातर हिंदुस्तान में. शोले में एक हंगल साहब ने कैरेक्टर प्ले किया था, इमाम साहब. वो गांव के इमाम थे. लेकिन उनका गांव का इमाम होना या उनका मुस्लिम होना उस फिल्म के प्लॉट डिवाइस नहीं था. वो बड़ी सहजता से उस माहौल का हिस्सा थे. इस बारे में एक छोटी सी नज़्म है. अगर कैरेक्टर आपको याद हो तो इमाम साहब थे, देख नहीं सकते थे. उनका बेटा था अहमद, उसके खत वत आते रहते थे अहमद के मामा का मुरादाबाद से, वो बेचारे गांव वाले पढ़ लेते. तो नज़्म है शोले के इमाम साहब. नज़्म का उन्वान या नज़्म का शीर्षक है, एक गांव एक ठाकुर दोस्त दो बदनाम से, एक गांव एक ठाकुर दोस्त दो बदनाम से, रिश्ता सभी का था अदब का गांव के इमाम से। थे देते सहारा गांव वाले, उनको अपना मान के, खत भी पढ़ लेते थे वो अहमद के मामू जान। इमाम साहब पे गांव के दरवाजे कोई बंद न थे, इमाम साहब पे गांव के दरवाजे कोई बंद न थे। वो कपड़े का धागा थे, कपड़े पर पैबंद न थे। वो कपड़े का धागा थे, कपड़े पर पैबंद न थे। ना उनको ही बीमारी थी ठाकुर से कलमा पढ़वाएं, बेबाक बसंती को टोकें और उससे पर्दा करवाएं। ना ठाकुर ने उनसे कभी सुलूक किया पराये का, ना जय और बीरू ने पूछा ये गोश्त है किस चौपाए का।
Oh wow. All right, Divinity, thank you so much for sharing all those lovely, lovely stories with us and your insight on how Indian writing is actually coming up. And did you see the number of books behind him?
Right.
A man who writes that well has to be reading very well as well. But with that, let's slip into a break, huh?
Coming up after the break, we are bringing you the lowdown on the Golden Globes. They just took place, lots of fashion on display. All we imagine is Light did miss out on some of the top honours, but we are always cheering for Payal. What we did see take place was Emilia Perez sweeping the Golden Globes with a 4-win haul. It wasn't the win for Wicked that everyone was expecting. The other big highlight, Demi Moore winning Best Actress for the award-winning Wicked film in itself, The Substance.
Bonjour.
Can the BJP end its 27-year-long power drought in Delhi? Well, the party is employing a multi-pronged strategy to live up to this challenge as it senses anti-incumbency against the Aam Aadmi Party's decade-long rule and feels that the narrative of AAP's corruption and misgovernance has percolated to the masses. It is also a very localized campaign by the BJP this time, with the Prime Minister speaking about sewers and waterlogged roads and DTC fleets and potholes. This is a marked shift from the national issues campaign run by BJP in the past in Delhi. The effort is to touch the pulse of the common Delhiite on the issues he is facing day in and day out. The BJP strategy, in fact, seems to be on 5 political pillars, glimpses of which have been evident in the 2 public addresses of the Prime Minister in Delhi last week. Number 1, Modi is again the BJP's face in Delhi and the party is not projecting any chief ministerial face. Number 2, it is the Prime Minister and Amit Shah who are leading the attack on AAP on the Sheesh Mahal campaign around the Chief Minister's affluent residence. The BJP feels this is AAP's Achilles heel. Number 3, the BJP is highlighting AAP's misgovernance from the state of the Yamuna to air pollution to try keep the campaign local. It says Delhi needs a double-engine government run by the BJP. Number 4, the BJP is planning a strong counter to Aam Aadmi Party's 2 major weapons. Number 1, free electricity and the rupees 2100 promised to women. BJP has also made a major overture to slum dwellers who are a major vote bank in Delhi, with Prime Minister Modi saying that everyone will get a pakka home. 5th, the BJP is hoping that the Congress and the BSP can also dent AAP's votes in multiple seats and BJP ends up gaining from it. Modi is the face. Leading the charge against the AAP is again the BJP's top face, Prime Minister Narendra Modi. This was the same case in 2020 when the BJP had lost. BJP did project Kiran Bedi as their chief ministerial face in 2015, but that ended in a disaster as AAP won as many as 67 out of the 70 seats in Delhi. Arvind Kejriwal and his party are taking potshots at the BJP, asking who their dulha or the bridegroom is in these elections. But the BJP feels there are bigger issues in this Delhi election than the CM face. It is buoyed by the wins in Rajasthan, Chhattisgarh and Madhya Pradesh in 2023 without projecting any CM face. The 2 posters released by the BJP so far only have Modi as the face on them. The BJP in fact feels that AAP has complicated its own strategy by saying that Kejriwal will replace Atishi as the CM if AAP wins. despite the Supreme Court putting stiff conditions on Kejriwal while granting him bail. Number 2, big strategy of the BJP is Sheesh Mahal AAP's Achilles heel. Well, unlike 2020, when BJP did not have as much ammunition on the front of corruption of AAP, this election is different, as the Sheesh Mahal controversy around the CM's affluent residence could prove to be its Achilles heel. This explains PM Modi and Home Minister Amit Shah leading the attack on this issue. To quote Prime Minister Modi, "I never built a house for myself. I could have also built a Sheesh Mahal, but my dream has been that the poor get a concrete house." A latest CAG report, which has not been tabled in the Delhi Assembly so far, has also posed serious questions on the lavish expenditure done in refurbishing and renovating the CM's residence in Delhi. The Prime Minister has led the attack on this CAG report as well, saying Kejriwal was focused on building the Sheesh Mahal at a time when the national capital was struggling with COVID. Failed governance. BJP is also doubling down on the state of the Yamuna and the persistent air pollution issue in the national capital to corners AAP's governance model in Delhi. PM has termed AAP as Apada, or a calamity for Delhi. While the AAP is showcasing its health and education model in Delhi, BJP is trying to tell the people that AAP...
Welcome back. It's time to take you through all the highlights coming in from Golden Globe Awards. The biggest highlight, of course, was Payal Kapadia, for India at least, not making it, but she did lose it to Amelia Perez. Amelia Perez took home 4 awards.
Right, so many awards, and many to the surprise of Wicked. Everyone was expecting Wicked to win in a lot of those categories. Lots of fashion, lots of beautiful moments, and we're going to take you to exactly what they were. Take a look. Demi Moore, that's a teaser. Take a look.
The 2025 Golden Globes lit up Beverly Hills as Hollywood's finest gathered to celebrate the best in television and film from 2024. This year's ceremony marked a historic milestone, with comedian Nikki Glaser taking center stage as the first woman to solo host the prestigious event. International films had a strong presence, but for Indian fans, the evening was tinged with bittersweet emotions. Payal Kapadia's All We Imagine as Light, India's only nomination, ultimately lost to the French musical crime comedy Emilia Perez. Kapadia was also in the running for Best Director. However, the award went to Brady Corbet for his visually stunning and emotionally resonant work on The Brutalist. Despite the losses, Kapadia's double nomination signals a significant moment for Indian cinema on the global stage. It was Emilia Perez's night, sweeping major categories with 10 nominations and walking away with top honors including Best Film, Comedy or Musical, and Best Original Song. Brady Corbett's The Brutalist made its mark with 7 nominations and several major wins. The film claimed the coveted title of Best Motion Picture Drama, while Adrian Brody's powerful performance earned him Best Actor Drama. Television had its share of victories, with Shogun emerging as the biggest winner. The sweeping historical drama claimed Best Television Series Drama and Best Actor Drama, cementing its status as the year's breakout hit. In the Limited Series category, Baby Reindeer took home Best Limited Series Anthology TV Movie. In a nod to commercial success, the highly anticipated musical Wicked won the Cinematic and Box Office Achievement Award. These victories have undoubtedly set the stage for what promises to be an exciting road to the Oscars.
Okay, from entertainment now to the financial sector, we're bringing you a special section on the financial markets powered by Money Control Pro. It's Money Control's premium destination for investing and business insights. Let's take a look first at an overview of markets. GIFT Nifty indicates a stable opening for Indian stock markets. Asian markets are opening higher, tracking the gains in the US stocks. Buying in semiconductor stocks in particular helped US markets close higher on Monday. Crude oil prices eased in Tuesday morning trade as we speak.
Moving on to sectors now, let's look at the one in focus this Tuesday morning. This leading jewelry company delivered robust double-digit growth across segments in Q3. The main business got a boost from strong festive sales as well. Alongside, the shift from unorganized to organized players has been gathering pace. Compulsory hallmarking, along with the reduction in custom duty on gold, is accelerating the shift as well. You can log into Money Control Pro to find out more about India's jewelry sector and various other actionable insights on the markets. It is a premier destination for all the investing views and financial insights you will ever need, brought to you by Money Control. All right, with that, we are drawing the Tuesday, 7th of Jan episode to a close. What are we doing tomorrow?
We're going to be taking a look at two different things. One, of course, is the fun in video games, but the other is something that the internet has been abuzz about.
The virus. There is so much of misinformation out there. Should you be scared? Should you not? Should you mask? Should you not? Should you get your influenza vaccine or not? We'll answer all those questions tomorrow with experts. See you then. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Co-powered by.
Can the BJP end its 27-year-long power drought in Delhi? Well, the party is employing a multi-pronged strategy to live up to this challenge as it senses anti-incumbency against the Aam Aadmi Party's decade-long rule and feels that the narrative of AAP's corruption and misgovernance has percolated to the masses. It is also a very localized campaign by the BJP this time, with the Prime Minister speaking about sewers and waterlogged roads and DTC fleets and potholes. This is a marked shift from the national issues campaign run by BJP in the past in Delhi. The effort is to touch the pulse of the common Delhiite on the issues he's facing day in and day out. The BJP strategy, in fact, seems to be on 5 political pillars, glimpses of which have been evident in the 2 public addresses of the Prime Minister in Delhi last week. Number 1, Modi is again the BJP's face in Delhi and the party is not projecting any chief ministerial face. Number 2, it is the Prime Minister and Amit Shah who are leading the attack on AAP on the Sheesh Mahal campaign around the Chief Minister's affluent residence.